Okay, so we're going to look at what we can do with an audio waveform. Hopefully by now you've seen the Langston Hughes movie and you see that there's an effect in that movie that affects basically an audio waveform. And so that's what we're going to be looking at today. How do we do that effect? So you really need about 3 layers to do that effect. So let's go ahead and set up a composition, and then let's look at those 3 layers. So we're going to do a new composition. This is going to be called audio, spell it right, audio fun. And for this one, I know that I'm going to be dealing with something. I know that I have an audio file that I'm dealing with that's about 5 minutes. So I'm just going to set the duration of this whole thing to about maybe 5, a little bit over 5. All right. So the next thing I need to do is make a couple of layers, solid layers. So layer new, solid. Black is fine. I'm going to call this background. Again, spelling. All right, that's great. And then I'm going to set up another layer, another solid layer. However, this one I'm going to call audio because I'm actually going to map my audio to that in a little bit. And then I'm going to import an MP3 file that I know I have out here somewhere. And let's see, what is it called? Pearl Jam. Okay, so this is a Pearl Jam file. I'll bring in, and then again, I will bring that down into the timeline as well, so I have that. If I look at this audio file, I happen to know, that there is a waveform here, and I can check that to make sure just by opening up the waveform, in the audio within this MP3 file. All right, so next thing that I need to do is I need to go to the audio layer, which is right here in my timeline, and I want to put this effect on, which is the I'm going to generate an audio spectrum. So generate, so effect, generate audio spectrum. You would think that you would go into audio, but that's not what you do. You go to this generate control where you can generate a lot of different effects. So once you're in here, you can see that you have lots of different things you can do here, and we'll go through some of these so that you can see. But right now, I don't really see anything in the waveform here, and so that's because I have to tell it the audio layer that I'm dealing with. So right now it just says audio, so I want to say I want to map that to this MP3 file, which is down here. And then I can come in and I can start to look at the frequencies of these things. And we'll kind of deal with these in a minute. Let's come over here so that we can kind of get in the middle. I'm going to pick a section that I'm going to want to preview. So I'll come down here and just kind of select my work area that I want to kind of work with here. So 4:15, all right, so that's pretty good. Let's put it over here. So now we can see that the waveform, we're starting to see the waveform, take action here. Let's drop this down a little bit and see what that does to the waveform. Let's take the frequency down a little bit. Whoops, too much. And then you have these things called frequency bands. Let's play around with that a little bit. And maximum height. So this is how high will the maximum band hit. All right. And you really have to sort of sample around because, that's really going to be dependent on, what's happening in the song at that point. So you kind of need to sample around and see where those maximum levels are. But so that looks like something I've got, all right. And then I can come over here to thicknesses, and as you can see, I can make these thicker. I can make them thin, these little lines. I can make them soft, which kind of gives them a transparency. I can change the hue of these things, which is kind of fun to do. And I can determine inside and outside color. I can blend overlapping colors, kind of do a lot of stuff there that's kind of fun. Now when I come down here, these are the different display options. I can do the digital display. I can do analog lines, so that's actually what an analog waveform would look like. And then you can also do these analog dots, which are kind of fun as well. Let's stay with the dots for right now. And then you can say, I want to do side A, or I want to do side B, or both A and B, puts them both together, which is kind of nice.